Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a really amazing show this evening. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin. Thank you, gentlemen, for being the best moderators in all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about Project Veritas and James O'Keefe, who are awesome, and the fact that they documented on video exactly what President Trump was saying. Democrats cheat. They're a bunch of cheaters. They cheat all the time. If you don't have Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigning in disgrace, along with 4 other Democratic Party officials for cheating Bernie Sanders, which Tom Perez and Elizabeth Warren, thanks Elizabeth Warren, admitted, and everyone, the entire planet, look, when DWS dropped out and resigned, what better admission than the entire thing was completely set up? It was a complete charade, but you had an election judge, Philadelphia election judge, pleads guilty to stuffing ballot boxes. Are you kidding me? South Philly judge of elections admit he took bribes, and he took bribes to stuff the ballot box for Democratic candidates, the Philadelphia Inquirer. We could just start off with this. This was just like a passing type of... I was just going to touch upon this briefly, but let's just read it, okay? Before we get to William Barr and the numerous, endless investigations into the eventual cheating that will take place, because Democrats are going to lose. It's just a matter of how much they cheat to make it close. They are enamored with the same polls that said Clinton would win Texas. They're complete and utter imbeciles. The polls are public relations tools, ploys. They don't reflect public sentiment. They try to shape public sentiment. That's different. To my super chat, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding. And I don't have political action committees and pumping money into other PACs and all this stuff. But you allow me to do my thing, and I thank you. And, I have just the most amazing viewership in all of YouTube, and I mean that. South Philly, we'll just start off with this, okay? South Philly judge of elections admits he took bribes to stuff the ballot box for Democratic candidates. Now, President Trump could simply, he should really... tweet this out. Philadelphia Inquirer, a former judge of elections and Democratic committee person from South Philadelphia, has pleaded guilty. This is, by the way, May 21st, 2020. So, you have this oh my God, how dare you? Why would you even think that something was even possible? Nobody is cheated yet, and that's a baseless claim. Oh, okay, South Philly judge of elections admits he took bribes to stuff the ballot box for Democratic candidates. Philadelphia Inquirer, May 21st, 2020. It's so easy to debunk all their attempts at debunking reality. A former judge of elections and Democratic committee person from South Philadelphia has pleaded guilty to accepting thousands of dollars in bribes to inflate the vote total for 3 Democratic candidates for common pleas court judge in 2015 and for the Democratic candidates for office in 2014 and 2016, U.S. Attorney William M. McSwain announced Thursday. The judge pleaded guilty to conspiring to deprive Philadelphia voters of their civil rights by fraudulently stuffing the ballot boxes for the judicial candidates and for other candidates seeking office in the 2014 and 2016 primary elections. They can't even run their own primaries. When you hear Democratic primary, just think massive and deliberate and planned and orchestrated chaos and mayhem for a specific rigged purpose. They are the biggest cheaters on the planet, and they can't even find out who won Iowa in 2020 without 3 days of an app linked to Clinton campaign officials, former Clinton campaign officials. Wow, that's really convenient. And he admitted violating the Travel Act, which forbids the use of cell phones to promote illegal activity. Well, we could just start off with that. But the issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that you have about, I've compiled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 articles, and 9, 10, 11. There are 11 articles, including from reputable, amazing publications like Slate and the New York Times, including what Veritas found out, or bolstering what Veritas has found out. So we can just, voter fraud exists. Republican restrictions won't stop it. Slate. This was, I believe, in 2016. Voter fraud does happen. Election law expert and occasional Slate contributor Rick Hasen has explained voter fraud occurs through absentee ballots. I mean, it's literally right there in Slate. I mean, these are liberal, left-leaning, progressive publications. My God almighty. And I think the reason that President Trump doesn't publicize this is because this is when Republicans were cheating. Simon Hathaway Spurlock, shout out to my stepmother Shauna in Woodstock, New York. Hello, Shauna, who saw my super chats on your live stream. What a small world. God bless you, HA. God bless you. Shauna, thank you so very much for watching. Simon Hathaway Spurlock is a fantastic, awesome person. And thank you very much, Shauna, for watching. And so shout out to my stepmother Shauna in Woodstock, New York. Woodstock, nice, who saw my super chats on your live stream. What a small world. So she was watching as well. Fantastic. God bless you, HN. God bless you, Simon Hathaway Spurlock. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Simon, and thank you, Shauna. I had the whole family very happy. The whole mishpucha, which means family in Hebrew. Thank you so very much. And I'm really honored and really happy to have a whole bunch of families watching. This is a family-friendly show. It's a family-friendly show. What could be more family-friendly than talking about the cheating and the insidious nature of the Democratic Party? Such a family-friendly thing to talk about. Simon Hathaway Spurlock, thank you very much, Simon. And Shauna, thank you for watching. Thank you both. Agent Pepsi, what's going on? You're not in the freezer. I might be, the next couple of days I won't be in the freezer. But I still have the jacket on. Agent Pepsi 1, hello. Shauna and Simon, thank you. So, I mean, it's kind of like, it's right here. It says, and the only voting fraud schemes with the potential to actually swing elections involved mail-in ballots, not impersonation at the polls. This is Slate. Quote, this makes sense. It's much easier to forge a signature, impersonate a voter, or buy a vote in the privacy of one's home than it is in a voting booth at the polls. My God, Trump and Barr. They're casting doubt and spreading suspicion. And what do they say? They say this dumb thing, they're questioning the integrity of our election process. Meanwhile, they've blamed Russia for 4 years. Then when you call them on it, they're like, oh, well, she accepted the results, but we've had 20 investigations on Russian interference. They're the most duplicitous, disingenuous hypocrites on the planet. It is much easier to forge a signature, impersonate a voter, or buy a vote. So try to do it, Democrats. Because you got William Barr up your rear end. Oh, hello. I'm trying to... William Barr is going to be watching Project Veritas. And he's going to be watching James O'Keefe on continual loop. And the Justice Department people are just going to be watching on their cell phones and in a widescreen TV within their offices, Project Veritas videos, as a foundation for the indictments and investigations and prosecutorial decisions of Democrats who try to cheat. It still won't help because Trumpy will win anyway. Error and fraud at issue as absentee voting rises. New York Times. Chris Collin, happy Yom Kippur, HA. Thank you so very, very much, Chris. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Chris Collin. Very, very kind of you. Thank you. Happy Yom Kippur, HA. Thank you so much, Chris. Be here, Chris. November 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Be here every day, but definitely November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It is going to be, oh my God, it is going to be the most amazing meltdown of all time. And it's just going to be amazing. Chris, thank you so very much. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. So you have, ladies and gentlemen, the problem, said Murray A. Greenberg, a former county attorney in Miami, is really the collection of absentee ballots at the senior citizen centers. And then another person, Heather Gerken, a Yale law professor, said, quote, you could steal some absentee ballots or stuff a ballot box or bribe an election administrator. That explains, quote, why all the evidence of stolen elections involves absentee ballots and the like. Then you have ballot harvesting. Then you have the issue of ballot harvesting, which is what Veritas and Barr and Trump and everyone and Slate and the New York Times, and this is what we're talking about. You start harvesting ballots, Chris Collin, thank you. You then just suddenly find 100,000 new ballots. Gosh, that's amazing. You mean to tell me that Trump is up by 20,000 votes in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Florida, Ohio, Nevada? You mean he's up by 20,000 in each of those states, and Democrats are now up on November 4th? How did that happen? Oh, that's right, because they cheated. PH Authority! You don't know me, but I feel I know you. Been following you since before last election. Thank you for everything you do, HA. PH Authority, thank you very, very much. And I just thank you very much for watching for so long. My God, you have been through a journey with me, and I am very fortunate to have been through this journey with you and everyone here watching. It's just, PH Authority. I want to say the full name, which is one of the great names on this channel's history. I'll tell you the truth. It's one of the great names in the channel's history, but just because of the algorithm, I'm sure I could say like Fuki Authority. Fuki Authority. I'll say PH Authority is better. Thank you so much. I mean, it's been a nice, interesting, fun ride, and I've been able to really dodge and address and circumvent anybody trying to, on the left, trying to make my journey not as pleasant. But, I mean, it's really, once I left that really dangerous world, it's been smooth sailing, my God. It's, so awesome being a Trump supporter, or just not, I'm even saying... PH Authority, first of all, thank you very much for the kind words. It means a great deal to me, and thank you for watching for so long. Ladies and gentlemen, it's you don't even have to like Trump. You don't even have to vote for Trump. You understand? You don't even, if you're watching right now, and you know what I'm talking about, and you're surrounded by disgruntled, deranged people on the left, and you never thought you'd be okay with Trump, and you don't really like him, but you're certainly not voting Democrat, and you're just not voting, you've left. You've left that dangerous, sad, pathetic, frightening world of apoplectic, hysterical, seething, fuming people who think they're morally superior, but are the biggest fools and imbeciles on the planet. I'm talking about people who aren't even just voting, who aren't even voting for Trump, who are just sitting the election out because they can't stand the Democratic Party, and they're not going to reward the Democratic Party's treachery. You have done yourself a huge service. You have left that paradigm of, it's like a paradigm of suffering in every way. It's like this very, very unhealthy groupthink that says, well, if you don't, they even get into like there are people who lost friendships because of liking one person's Medicare For All program as opposed to another person's Medicare For All program. They ain't passing Medicare For All or Green New Deal legislation or universal basic income or anything they claim on the left. It's an entire grift. They're the true grifters. They say that they're the ones with $20 million in venture capital funding talking about changing the system. You couldn't find bigger, more deceitful, disingenuous grifters who basically, like, their whole thing is, their focus is on money or deceit. They know very well that Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden is not going to. I mean, Bernie Sanders is literally endorsing somebody who would veto Medicare for all. So that's where the left is. And the left is voting alongside the Bush-era Republicans. So, PH Authority, thank you very, very much. Thank you for being along this with me on this ride for a long time. Thank you. It's like you have people who they don't realize that this is how they work. This is the mentality. The mentality is, if you address like the reality of any situation, the complexity, the nuance, they don't want to hear it. If you ask for evidence for their claim, because they've made absurd claims, they don't want to hear it. Then, so if you say, like, well, where's the evidence Trump worked with Russia? They'll give you a whole bunch of nonsense. It won't be evidence. Then, when you say, well, that Bernie Sanders was cheated, then they go to, well, Republicans are just as bad. So it's like this twofold delusional mentality where they engage in corruption and then they justify the corruption by saying Republicans are worse, and then they just fabricate and make up things because they have nothing on Trump. Well, it was taxes. Well, did he break any laws? Because, you can fix those loopholes. You're like, he didn't pay taxes. Well, are you saying that he took advantage of existing loopholes? Focus, Democrats, focus. Listen to, did he take advantage of legal and existing tax loopholes, perhaps pertaining to real estate or real estate losses or, whatever? Well, the New York Times, they're not accountants. They're not accountants. Who should, have a bunch of accountants looking at their finances? The DNC. That would be interesting. That would be interesting to find out where they get all of their donations from. That would be very, very interesting to find out. Of course, Madam Secretary's servers had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. But they're going with, apparently, the first debate, Biden. It'll eventually be Hillary. She's coming. The dorsal fin is not Flipper. That dorsal fin ain't Flipper. But Biden is like, it is going to be, people are going to watch the debate simply to see how bad Biden does. That's what it's come to. That's how delusional they are. People are going to watch the debate just to see how horrible Botox B does. And if he's like breathing and somewhat sentient, and awake, they're going to say, "Oh my God, he won." I mean, this is the level of delusion they're at. Agent Pepsi won. Real question: does Trump owe back taxes? I mean, if he does, then the IRS will tell him he owes taxes. I mean, it's like, and then they like, oh yeah, he owed Russia $350 million. Like, it's the Clintons who had in their foundation got money from Uranium One, literally money from a company that was purchased by a Russian state-owned company and then linked to Putin directly. So Russia got 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. And if you tell people this, I swear they have this glazed look on the, like, it's really like speaking to zombies. Don't ever speak to anyone with Trump derangement. It's not worth it. It's a waste of time. You might as well debate the wall. You might as well find a wall in your house or apartment, stare at it and yell at it, and it's actually more rewarding than debating anyone who has derangement issues. But it's like, well, he owed money to Putin. What are you talking about? Forbes has him as like $3 billion. He owed money. And that's why he did what? Well, that's why, he worked with Putin. How? Mueller's found nothing. You know what's going on. No, I don't know. What are you talking about? He actually gave lethal aid to Ukraine. Oh, Ukraine, he tried to interfere in the election. What are you talking about? Well, he was impeached. Yeah, based on nonsense, based on the idea that he was investigating Biden to interfere in the election. Notice that any conjecture or hyperbole or allegation against Trump should be, oh my God, it needs to be investigated by everyone, even people who aren't accountants at the New York Times. It's unbelievable. It's like they don't have anything on this man. So, I mean, we're going to get to William Barr and everything and the cheating. They don't have anything on Trump. So they're still going after they're still saying, well, his personality, he's a bad person. He's a really bad person. He's a horrible human being. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares anymore. This is the thing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They're like, well, he's just a really bad person. And you know what? He didn't pay taxes. And he said really bad things about people who've lost their lives. And who told? Do you have any evidence for this? We have a lot of evidence. You have no idea how much evidence we have. We're just not going to show you. Well, it's meaningless. What they say is meaningless. They make meaningless. They use meaningless analogies, make meaningless correlations. Their accusations are stupid. You're talking about the most inept, bumbling, pathetic imbeciles that are just propped up by the entire United States media. So if you don't have the entire United States media, think about it. They're going to lose the election, and that's with media virtually in unison. Imagine if media was just somewhat objective. They would lose even they would lose the popular vote. What's going to happen, though, President Trump will win the popular vote on election night, which is what happened in 2016. Then, you'll have, oh my God, we found 4 million votes in New York and in California. Yeah, ballot harvesting is totally fine in California. Which, would be great, though, when Trump officially wins, and then William Barr actually checks each one of the fraudulent votes in California and New York that come in after the bell rings, after the buzzer. Democrats are like, we scored at least 50 points after the end of the game. We would have totally won. It's like, well, the game was over. President Trump got 270. You're going to get there is zero support for Biden You can't run on Trump as a bad human being, because Biden is far worse. Ask Tara Reade. Trump has never been accused of what Tara Reade accused Biden of doing. And you talk about credibility. You can't go back in time and have the mother of an accuser call in Larry King live. So Biden, and it's like, you look at Biden, he's a career politician. Clinton is as well. They've never had a business. They've never earned money on their own. They worked for the government, and then they sold access. That's why Hunter was on the board of directors of a company where he had zero background. He didn't even speak Ukrainian. Why is he on the board? You're on the board of directors of a company because you have some kind of expertise, either within that industry, or you can give them ideas as to how they make more money. What strategy or what experience or what base of knowledge does this man have other than his father being vice president? So these people never made money on their own. Trump is a businessman. Every industry that he's gone into, he's done pretty well. He's a businessman. He doesn't need... See, this is like when you get these like lame... when you get these headlines like, 300 foreign policy experts have signed a letter saying Trump is really bad at foreign policy. Like, the record speaks for itself. His accomplishments speak for themselves. We already know that he has done a great thing with Israel and the UAE and Bahrain and Serbia and Kosovo, and being the first president to step foot in North Korea, to begin détente between North and South Korea, where President Moon Jae-in of South Korea stated that Trump deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. Then you have he's bringing home or removing soldiers from Iraq, ended the war in Afghanistan, removed soldiers from Syria, ended covert programs arming rebels that never worked, as a surreptitious regime change in that country. And you had Clinton, who never had a foreign policy decision ever that worked out, who wanted a no-fly zone above Damascus. I mean, and then with Russian jets flying around. And it's like, you took Uranium One money, President Obama allowed 20% of U.S. uranium capacity to be sold to Putin, and you spent 4 years convincing millions, successfully, by the way, very successfully, that Democrats are the new Cold Warriors, which is hilarious because President Obama did not provide lethal aid to Ukraine. And they have more ties to Russia than Trump does. Trump didn't purchase a dossier with help from that was compiled with help from Russian intelligence. So there's like a million reasons they're going to lose. This campaign with Biden, it has to be the worst campaign. Like 10 of the last 25 days, his new name is Punxsutawney Biden. He leaves his basement for a second, sees his shadow, then jumps back into the basement. The Bot 2007. Remember 2012, Ryan versus Biden? He was smiling and laughing a lot. He will do that tomorrow. They will probably whiten his teeth. The Bot 2007. I think that they're going to go first with Biden, then Clinton is going to come in somehow, some way. I don't see I don't see Biden wresting control of the Democratic Party from Clinton. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, it's going to be Madam Secretary versus Trump. I'm telling you, she's going to be on that ballot. And the electors in the Electoral College will say, hey, no problem, it's just fine. The Bot 2007. It's going to be a political slaughter. I don't see this is like Biden's probably going to talk about how Trump is a bad person, how the pandemic is his fault, and hopefully Trump goes on the offensive. You need to pressure Botox B. So President Trump cannot be he can't be civil. He has to pressure, because you know what? I don't think he'll probably have an earpiece or something. Fantomos Fanto! Hunter's Launchpad McQuay. Fantomos, hello, thank you. It's interesting. Like, it's going to be. Look, I can tell you already. The headlines are going to be, "Oh my God, did you see that Biden?" And this is not going to work too. This is not going to work also. This too is not going to work. They're going to try to make Biden out to be like the really nice person, the really nice, like, honorable, good, decent man. Launchpad McQueen. I'm trying to see. Yep. They're gonna try to say, like, okay, well, you know what? He didn't win. You know what? MC Bree, that's right. CG3SSF, yes. Eric H526, thank you. There's really nothing there's no way that Biden wins that debate. The whole thing is very absurd. I think they're doing their entire political party a disservice, but whatever. I don't really care. I think it's hilarious that they think they can coast through, because at the end of the day, they're going to give control to Clinton. I don't see Biden wrestling control of the Democratic Party from the Clintons. And when that happens, you see it's going to be pandemonium. And I will have told you for the past 4 years, that'll be the biggest call of all time. But President Trump's going 8 years, which is what I've been saying for 4 years also. And you have to ask yourself, well, what are they going to gain aside from trying to pretend that they're... Aside from trying to pretend that their primary was really fair and neutral, what do they have to the New York Times, for Trump and Biden, first debate is high-stakes clash of styles and ideas. Biden has no ideas. He has no ideas. Does anyone know what Biden wants to do? He wants to do nothing the progressives want. Nothing. He would veto everything the progressives want. He wants a neocon foreign policy, okay, which, by the way, is interventionist and regime change. That's what it means. It doesn't mean a foreign policy predicated upon one country in the world, which is based on anti-Semitism, which is emanating from the left. Washington Post, post-ABC poll, Biden leads Trump. Of course he does. In battleground state of Pennsylvania. Yeah. The Rock is great. He's fantastic. But if that's the best thing you have for the past 2 days, your campaign isn't going anywhere. It's one celebrity. One celebrity. They have nothing. They have they have nothing bolstering their campaign. They are going to lose so miserably. They're going to lose so miserably in November. It'll eventually be Clinton, but let's assume for a second they go with Biden all the way through. They would lose miserably. And it's kind of interesting how they, they don't realize, they don't realize that the entire planet sees Botox B as a, like a candidate that has he's lost his marbles. This man is like, it's going to be, if President Trump has to bring it home now. See, now this is the thing. This is President Trump. He has to, and he performs. He has to treat Biden the way he treated Clinton. He has to do this, and he has to even be more belligerent, nonstop, going at this. And I don't care, like the mentality that, you don't want him to be too vicious because then that would backfire. No. He has to go all in and expose this person for who he is, which is a person who just looks at teleprompters, has no idea where he is half the time, and never had a foreign policy or basically, like, tell me a political achievement this man had aside from being chosen as vice president. What did this? He voted alongside Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld. Then he pushed for, or he was part of destroying Libya. So tell me the, like, amazing thing that he's accomplished. I don't know. Defeating cornflakes? Simon Hathaway, Spurlock. Trump is clean as a whistle. He pretty much is. I want to know what Biden has accomplished. I want to know what he's done to warrant being president, aside from serving in the Senate for 180 years, or, being elected 180 years ago. I mean, this man has made so many weird, bizarre, frightening claims that media never touched because they're propping him up. So Trump has to go in. Like, he cannot. If there's anyone in President Trump's administration, anyone close to President Trump watching, he has to go all in and make a big statement. Because then they'll say, oh, well, we need somebody tough. Okay, enter Clinton. But Trump has his third Supreme Court justice, okay? Why Joe Biden's lead is different than Hillary Clinton's. It's not different. It's tanking already. This is CNN. And also, even Clinton was less propped up by media than Biden. Media barely touched the email scandal, like with kid gloves, but at least they kind of touched it. With Biden, it's literally, they've stated, the intelligence services have stated that anything bad about Biden is a Russian plot. So don't say anything bad about Biden. If Chris Wallace goes after Trump and not Biden, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be really upset. Because, and if Chris Wallace tries to fact check Trump but not Biden, I'm sorry, Mr. President, that's just not true. And then it'll be like, that's just not true, Mr. President. Mail-in voting has been proven to be safe and secure. Not according to Slate and the New York Times and a whole bunch of other publications. But he has to worry about that also. But the main thing is Trump has to go in hard. That's all. Tomorrow he has to go in hard. That's all. He has to bring up Burisma. He has to bring up Hunter. He has to bring up Tara Reid. He has to bring up voting alongside Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld. He has to bring up Libya. He has to bring up Biden, getting elected 180 years ago, and then him wanting to run for Senate, and then him calling Arizona a city, and then him meandering off into a whole bunch of nonsensical tirades. And And then you have Hillary Clinton tried to warn us about Trump's tax returns and what he could be hiding from the IRS. How could he be hiding anything, you absolute fools, if the IRS has his taxes already? How does that work? I'd like to know how that works. So hold on, let's see. Biden. Don't you love Twitter? So with Trump, it's Trump crime, hashtag Trump crime family. Trump meltdown. Trump is broke. And then for Biden, it's Biden-Harris landslide 2020. Biden-Harris 2020. Biden town hall. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They have all of social media. Every algorithm benefits Democrats. They still can't win. They're still not going to win. I mean, basically, it's going to come to a point where they're going to say, look, you know what? We have to actually escort you to the voting booth and take your hand so you pick Democrat. This is the only way we can win. It's like, no, you're not going to. You're not going to walk me to the voting. Get away from me. No. There's a new law that we've passed. We are escorting 65 million people, and we will take, if you're a left-handed person, we'll take a left hand or right hand, we'll take your hand, and you're going to pick Democrat. Get away from me. That's the only way they can win. They have no, Tar Heel Billy, hello, thank you. They have no way. They have every single possible advantage, and they're still not going to win. I can't, it's like, and then the rebuttal will be like, well, that's just because people are so happy about Biden. It's like, no, that's not true at all. If you actually type in hashtag Biden, you'll get like a bunch of people dissing him. 180 years ago, here. Democrat leadership doesn't respect your vote. This is about power. They know this man, his marbles have lost his marbles, can't leave. This makes no sense. I got to the Senate 180 years ago. I mean, this is like, they're not serious. They're not serious. And then you have Hollywood celebrities. Trump is a con man. He's a thief and a liar. It's not conning any. Okay, the Democrats are con men. And the Democrats are cons. The Democrats act in a deceitful manner, promise things, and never fulfill their promise. Okay? Trump fulfills his promises. Okay? A deceitful, a swindle is what happened in the 2016 election. Like, you take advantage of someone's trust and then they find out that it's not a fair election. So the swindle, the deceit, that's on the Democratic Party side. Trump's very clear. He's like, I want a wall. I want to remove our presence from the Middle East. I want a great economy. I want to go after Comey. Yeah. He's very clear in what he wants. The man is pretty straightforward. If it wasn't for all the things they made up about him, his tenure would be pretty, mundane. Oh wow, he fired somebody, big deal. They make everything about Trump into this giant spectacle. He said this and he meant this. With Trump, whatever he says, there's a subtext because he can't get him on what he says. With Trump, his taxes are hiding something. We just can't prove it. With Trump, he said something in a cemetery. We just can't prove it. With Trump, he worked with Russia. We won't have any evidence. We still don't, but we know what he did because the emails helped him because corruption was found in the Democratic Party. They have nothing on this man. But there's a whole lot on their side. It's pretty interesting. But you look at Hollywood, and it's like nobody cares what former celebrities think about anything, or celebrities think about it. Nobody cares what, can you name the top 5 actors in the world today? I can't. Try to name the top 5 actors in the world today. This is an interesting concept or question. Most people can't name the top 5 actors in the world today because Hollywood's been losing money year by year. Not even before the pandemic. Can you name the top 5 actors in the world today? No. Now, can you now the actors that are in the news are just people who were famous in the 90s or 80s or 70s who don't like President Trump. That should tell you something about celebrity in this day and age. Like, they have to attach themselves to Trump like a barnacle, like a leech, under the pretext of disliking him or opposing him. Then you have people and then you have Michael Cohen. This man is hilarious. He quotes his book, and he attributes quotes to President Trump that he has no evidence. He has no evidence of. So this man is in prison and selling a book. And he was a Trump loyalist before he had to strike deals with Democrats in New York. Because every prosecutor in New York made it their life's mission to go after Trump. But God forbid, Trump wants to ask anything about Biden's shady past. And it's, oh my God, you're interfering. So right before this election has not started yet. I'm sorry, it hasn't started yet, and it'll start when Clinton becomes the replacement. And that's, the reliever comes in after Biden, forgets to get on the mound. I'm telling you, this is very bizarre. Angela! Old Joe was born 10,000 years ago, and he is his own grandpa. That's funny. Angela! Hello, Teresa King. Mainstream news has already set the stage that all comments from our president tomorrow towards his opponent are nothing but personal attacks, really. Exactly. Well, Teresa and Angela, that's fine with me. That would be fine with me. Because you have to put Biden on the defensive, because Biden is used to the most carefully scripted teleprompter, and he still gets it wrong. So you have to put him on the defensive. You have to see this man, like, the man is going to wither in front of everyone's eyes when the enormous apparatus around him is dismantled by Trump. I find it also very interesting that people are like, oh, how dare you like Trump? It's like, well, you like Biden? Biden is a career politician who's accomplished nothing. President Trump in 4 years accomplished more than Biden has in his entire lifetime. Being the first president to step foot in North Korea is a huge, monumental, paradigm-changing accomplishment. Media, just because media doesn't acknowledge this, peace and diplomatic relationships between Israel and the UAE and Bahrain, and that's amazing. Serbia and Kosovo, that's amazing. I mean, these are true accomplishments. 3 Supreme Court judges that will defend the Second Amendment. If you've gotten a death threat like I have, you respect the Second Amendment more than you ever thought you would. Because when I was on the left, I'll tell you something. When you're on the left, you think that everyone is as rational and good as you are, and that nobody would engage in maniacal behavior. Then you meet other leftists, or you in contact with other leftists who are like, oh my God, these people are nuts. Then you realize, oh, you know what? Then you're told by a police officer, yeah, you should respect this. You should protect yourself with the Second Amendment. So it's like November 3rd is around the corner. Veritas just exposed they probably have, James O'Keefe probably has, and he's awesome. He probably has hundreds of videos of overt election fraud. that he is that he's just waiting. He's just waiting. Because the thing is, like, Democrats are the ones saying, you better, you can't disparage the integrity of our election system. It's like, you're the ones who cheat. You're the ones who cheat all the time. You're the ones who cheat all the time. And then you get caught cheating by Veritas, by your own emails that you're still harping about. But November 3rd's around the corner. They're not going to win. Amy Coney Barrett is going to be an election victory before the election victory. That is a huge, huge victory. That is a huge victory. Trump gets things done for his voters. Democrats get nothing done. I mean, absolutely nothing done for their voters. But they still have a foothold. Luke St. Martin! Luke! One of the best moderators, along with Eric H526, or part of the two best moderators in all of YouTube. POTUS needs to walk out on stage, put Joe in a headline, give him a noogie. That's hilarious. Debate over. Exactly. Luke St. Martin. Stony Stone. I have to check that out. Stony Stone. I'm going to check that out. Luke St. Martin. I think that would be fantastic. But he can't, Luke, he can't. Thank you first of all, thank you for being an amazing moderator, and thank you for your support always, Luke. Thank you. Very kind of you. And you and Eric H526 are fantastic. He cannot try to be civil. He has to go hard. He has to go hard. He has to go hard. I mean, he has to just go all in, not care about like how he looks. I mean, just tell the truth. The truth is that Biden never had a foreign policy achievement. Nothing. Sam J. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. It is not illegal to obtain someone's taxes. Is it not illegal? Yes, it is. Is it not illegal to obtain someone's taxes without their permission? It absolutely is. But they made a point to state that all the information they obtained was legal, and then they phrase it as well. It's confident. We have unpublished, confidential, and public record sources, but all the information obtained was legal. It's like, okay, so you have nothing. It is illegal to obtain someone's taxes without their permission, but also the New York Times didn't really obtain any information that nobody else has. Maddow did a better job than the New York Times, and then she found out that Trump paid $38 million in taxes. The New York Times article has no corroborated evidence. Also, how is Flynn still not free? The government is holding on to a whole bunch of technicalities. See, William Barr has to find, and it's so obvious too, but Sam Jage, the issue is they have not found, they've already found a plot to get Trump, but in the eyes of media, in the eyes of the government, they haven't shown categorical proof that Comey acted with ill intent or bias. So they're going to... Silver Sword, she will. She will. The election has not started yet. They are waiting until the last second, and then it's going to be pandemonium. And they're thinking, oh, well, you know what? People will remember just the last second. The switch will happen eventually. So, Sam, they're just waiting on... we're all waiting for William Barr and John Durham to find the emails or some kind of evidence that shows actual intent to go after Trump. Normally, the actions are obvious, and actually, like Peter Strzok's saying, we'll stop Trump, is enough. Should be enough. Should be enough. It's like literally there. It's like you're actually admitting that you are trying to stop an incoming candidate. So like that's already it's already an admission. It's already an admission. So we're just waiting. Old school dad, man. Biden drug test shows he's on. Among other stuff. Probably. Old school dad, man. Probably. Stony Stone. You can't make this. It's on my backup channel. I'm going to check that out. Old school dad, man. Biden drug test shows he's on. Yeah. There's going to be a really bizarre... Sam, thank you. There's going to be a really bizarre... I'm sure there will be a bunch of bizarre moments tomorrow, which will be fantastic. But he has to press Biden. He can't, like... He can't try... he can't try to be civil in any way possible. Let's read this here. Their memes about Trump are horrible. They're like little propaganda. It's like so horrible. He called Chris Wallace Chuck. That's... He called Chris Wallace Chuck. And then Biden does this thing where he smiles. He's always smiling. Like he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. He's always smiling. He said, Chuck. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, Chris. Whatever. Who cares? Media is, I have media, in my back pocket. Who cares? You got to bring up, President Trump needs to bring up the fact that Biden voted alongside, voted for everything that Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld wanted. He has to bring up the fact that, he has to bring up the recent scandals. Then Chris Wallace can do himself in. Chris Wallace could actually fall into a bunch of pitfalls if he's like, well, no, sir, no, sir, then no, sir, Mr. President, I have to stop you. It has been proven that Hunter did nothing wrong. Then it's, well, yeah, but why was he on the board? Sure. Nothing wrong. Why was he on the board? Sure. Nothing wrong. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, why was he? Why was he on the board? So this is the thing. Democrats are like a dysfunctional family at Thanksgiving where like all the kids know that mommy and daddy are doing crazy things. And, like mommy and daddy are like, can you pass the cranberry? We're having a great time, aren't we? It's like everyone's upset. Everyone has their own issues. And they're just waiting for like that, one little moment for like the whole like table to just erupt. So like, if that's the thing. You can't. You actually have to bring up. You actually have to bring up all the things that Chris Wallace doesn't want you to bring up. Stony Stone, you can't make this up. News, riding the storm out, brother. Stony Stone, thank you. Thank you for always watching. Stony Stone, thank you. Thank you. Stony Stone, thank you. Angela Goodwin. If Trump paid only $780, that means we have a president who is poor as most of us. There is no law against poor men. Poor man president of the U.S. Angela, you're right. Angela, you're right. But that's the thing. Stephen Running, exactly. Raider Nation, exactly. We lost, but you know what? We'll come back. It's actually good to lose at this point. Well, not good to lose, but you learn. The Raiders have so much potential that you get some kind of loss under their belt, and you learn from those mistakes. So it actually bodes well for the rest of the season, especially because that game was in reach the whole time. Yeah, so, but, I mean, tomorrow, tomorrow has to, you have to, if you're President Trump, you have to go hard all the time. You absolutely cannot you cannot worry about Chris Wallace, can't worry about being civil to Biden. Go after him hard. He won't react well. That's it. Andy, hello. Let's see. Hold on. They're already, the debate is already going to be, they're already saying Biden, if he just has to show up to win. And then it's CNN, Trump looking for 11th hour reset, but mostly shuns debate prep. What? Debate prep? If you were a lifelong politician, or if you were president, you have to prepare, but it's this isn't like a high school or college debate. These people have lived everything that they're going to discuss and argue about. So it's Biden aggressively prepares for debate. He's not aggressively doing anything. They don't want him out there talking. They know every time he opens his mouth, the poll numbers drop. Sean Hannity claims Dems put all their eggs in the debate basket. That's true. Ahead of the first debate. One thing as a Bernie Sanders supporter in 2016, when he said things like, I'm sick of your emails, that just, oh my God, that hurt so badly. Aaron Paradiso! If you had to guess, you talking about Botox B? I don't know. I couldn't guess, but it would probably be something to heighten. Caffeine. Biden needs to drink a strong cup of caffeine. Or maybe something more. Aaron, caffeine is one. I love a good espresso. Let me tell you. Oh my God. I'm watching this. It's bizarre. This person showed a picture of her and her husband and asked people if they should get a divorce. Obviously she was joking. Talking about why her in-laws are Trump supporters. Don't you love this also? It's they're so obsessed with Trump. They call him Trump. What does that mean? Why would that, like, you call him Trump? So, I don't know. Is that an insult? It's like, where does it even come from? I don't know. It's like all these different... They've created this world around Trump. It's just... It's really sad and pathetic. Joe Biden just announced he will not agree to... Gee, I wonder why. Oh my God, this is so... And then they bring up the pandemic, which isn't Trump's fault. So it's like, they've convinced themselves the pandemic is Trump's fault. Clinton would have done it nothing differently. Nothing. And they've absolved any guilt from the Democratic governors who presided over the most lives lost. This is like the biggest... It's like unbelievable. That's why it's going to be so sweet. The Golden Moo-Moo! Someone tell Tales from the Crypt. He was canceled years ago. Exactly. The Golden Moo-Moo. I know you're waiting. Very soon you will. The Golden Moo-Moo, it'll be a special, special time when Clinton does the replacement, does the switcheroony, and the Golden, I see you, the Golden Moo-Moo on here. It'll be, that would be special. The Golden Moo-Moo, first of all, thank you for your support and your generosity always. The Golden Moo-Moo, it's going to happen. The debate tomorrow is like... It's... If you were a Democrat... Let's think of it for a second, Golden Moo-Moo, everybody here. Think of like... They have been told by media and pollsters that they're up. Oh my God, they're up. It's like, if I was a Democrat, I would be petrified because I would know that there's no way that Biden could hold a polling lead. I would be begging actually for Clinton. She could make things close. She will. Clinton will eventually replace Biden. Could be a meeting from Tom Perez. Doesn't have to. I'm not predicting a calamity, God forbid. Chas v'shalom, which is Hebrew for God forbid. Simply that Biden has zero support or zero enthusiasm. Zero enthusiasm. Rand, hello. The Golden Moo-Moo, thank you. Let's see here. How Joe Biden can win Tuesday's debate. Now let's see what the Washington Post says. Bunch of nonsense. Every picture of this man is like exhumed body photo. It's just really sad. Voters must see Biden as good enough. What does that even mean? They're literally saying he just has to be a sentient creature. The Democratic nominee has enjoyed a steady lead of the polls. The polls are nonsense. They were wrong all throughout 2016. Why can't Democrats wake up from their stupor, their drunken stupor of propaganda, absurd propaganda? So at the outset, Biden needs to find an engaging way to warn the audience that Trump can be counted on to lie shamelessly. Hey, Shema, everybody, come on now. I told Corn Pop that Trump would lie shamelessly. Lie shamelessly. Like, they haven't lied shamelessly about Trump working with Russia, the biggest liars of all time. He never worked with Russia. He should never have been investigated because that everything was linked to Clinton purchasing the dossier, which is why eventually, it's like the Michael Jackson song, I'll be there. The former vice president also has to keep a lid on his tetchiness. Biden sometimes gets impatient and defensive when he is challenged. Yeah, exactly. He shouldn't take the bait. Trump has to challenge him every second. His job is not to win a lawyer's debate about the past, but to make the audience feel good about who he is. Nobody feels good about who he is. Even Democrats don't. There's no way Biden wins this debate. There is zero way. Now, in the eyes of the media, he will already have won. He's already won. So, in the eyes of the media, he's already won. So that's not even an issue. Golden Moo, thank you. Teresa King. Oh, yeah, 100%. Trump needs to bring up Tara Reid. He does. For a conference. Oh, that's right. Like he did in 2016 before the debate. Exactly. Let her sit in the audience next to with Miss Jill. Exactly. 100%, Teresa King. Golden Moo, thank you. 100%. I agree 100% with you. You are 100% right. Absolutely. So tomorrow's debate is 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So that'll be 6 to 6:30 p.m. 6 to 9:30 p.m. Pacific. No, so what am I saying? 6 to 9, 6 to, from 9 to 6 to 7:30 p.m. Pacific. 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have an amazing live stream tomorrow night, people. We will have an amazing live stream tomorrow night. Duke Diesel! Pelosi glowing wants to be president. Duke Diesel ain't going to happen because Pelosi, it won't be, it won't, thank you, Duke Diesel, thank you very, very much. It won't get to that. It will not get to that. So tomorrow at 9 to 10:30 p.m. Pacific. Be here, people. Be here at 9 p.m. Pacific. 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern is the debate. So be here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific. So that'll be 12. I start late, but Eastern. Duke Diesel, thank you, Duke Diesel. Golden Moo, thank you. This is not even... So Chris Wallace says, my job is to be as invisible as possible. Yeah, we'll see if that happens. Chris Wallace going after Trump is only going to help President Trump. Because you know what? The Democrats fact check President Trump on semantics without addressing the actual point that he's making, which is what everyone else on the planet sees. So, they'll be like, this is what'll happen. Trump will say, well, you opposed my travel restrictions in January. And then Chris Wallace, sure. I have an article here from factcheck.org, .snopes.org, democraticparty.org. Sir. He did not oppose. What he said was that you are an absolutely horrible human being who should be hit by a meteor for even bringing up the travel restrictions. But he did not oppose them. And then people will realize, like, oh, okay. So you didn't really like the travel restrictions, but apparently you didn't oppose them because you didn't literally say, I oppose the travel restrictions. My name is Joe Biden. I'm signing an oath in blood. Sir. This is what's going to happen. Stony Stone! James Comey and Peter Piper Clinton Foundation ties to the FBI director. Links to my videos on this channel. Stony Stone! Ties to the FBI director. Wow. Stony Stone, thank you. You can't make this up news. Thank you. Thank you, Stony Stone. Stony Stone, Duke Diesel, the Golden Moo. Wallace is going to, dig himself a hole. Just on a side note, sometimes I have to go on as I'm talking on YouTube to see GOP War Room or whatever, or what, even progressive sites. I look and see what they're saying, whatever. And so I get I do searches on sharks or Shark Week, whatever, and I've been getting these videos on great white sharks being saved. And I know that many people on the left, how dare you? But why would you go out of your way to save a great white shark? I don't know. I know it sounds horrible to say, but not really. Because they're oh, we saved it. The shark's already on the shore. So but people are going to swim. Why are you going to? Let me help you, Jaws. Help you, please, Jaws. It was so good. Love you, Jaws. Go. No, please. Here, take this Tylenol. Let me help you. I'll push you back into the water. It's you're going to be swimming in that water eventually, and then the next day or an hour later, he's going to eat you. Whatever. You can't reason with the left. It is what it is. It's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, Sleepygate. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm running out of steam. I feel like I'm Sleepy Joe. Be here at 9 p.m. tomorrow, people. We're going to have a fantastic live stream. Sharknado. Harry, hello. We love you. Body slams. Harry, thank you. Let me just tell you, tomorrow will be a fantastic live stream. Tell your friends to be here tomorrow evening, because I can only speculate as to how horrible this debate will be for Biden. Trump has to go hard. So, the only caveat I'll say, if he doesn't go hard, he can't be I've had enough of, what was that? Your servers? Nah, your servers? Nah, your servers. With the top secret intelligence and the special access program intelligence and classified data. I've had enough of your servers, even though if I had servers, believe me, you would have actually demanded that Comey indict me yesterday. But me, I've had enough of them. Who's with me? Huh? Did I do good? Who's with me? When he said that in 2016, my heart sunk. I'm my God almighty. And I didn't want to admit it, too. I was it's okay. It's strategic. It's strategery. This is all strategery. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless Yogi Fish. Thank you so very much for some snacks for the debate. Big up, HA. Thank you, Yogi Fish. Thank you very, very much. It is going to be fantastic, Yogi Fish, tomorrow night. Please be here, Yogi Fish, November 3rd. Well, November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. All of November is going to be a glorious, fantastic moment in American history, U.S. history, world history. The meltdown on the left, the Democratic Party meltdown will be biblical. Yogi Fish, thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Be here tomorrow, please. Everyone, be here tomorrow, please. 9 p.m. Pacific. Cat, Papa Bob Anderson. Libs can be highly smart, yet no common sense. No common sense. Senior, thank you. No common sense. Cat Papa Bob Anderson, Yogi Fish. I get these videos I saved a great white. Why would you? Why would you? I'm certainly not saying I wouldn't save a great white or do anything to the great white when it was on the shore of the beach. I would never. I would actually. I would save it also. Yeah. But why would you save? I don't understand this. You have kids at the beach. Do you want do you want Jaws 7? You have families at the beach that are going to be there tomorrow. The shark already it was already is on shore for a reason. Okay? Stomach ache, whatever. headache. Who cares? Why do you want to push it back into the water so someone could get eaten? I don't get it. But you know what? That's the Biden voter, which will eventually be the Clinton voter. Yogi Fish, thank you. Cap Bob Anderson, thank you. Clem Joke. Lucky it wasn't a Sharknado. 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 You know what? Sharknado has to go and visit the debate and just have a snack, an 80-year-old snack. Yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about, a little Sharknado action. He's in space. That's hilarious. Sharks in space. That's so funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, everybody. Thank you so very, very much. The Adventurous Guide to the Galaxy, thank you. Yogi Fish, thank you. Clem, thank you so very much. Cat Papa Bob, everyone here, God bless. To my super chat, thank you so very much. Be here 9 p.m. tomorrow. This is the MC Breed election, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no future in your frontin'. We're going to find out tomorrow. Well, we already know who is frontin' and who isn't. It's Biden. Hey, come on now. Come on, man. This is Biden. Come on, man. Cornflakes. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Be here. 9 p.m. Pacific. Debate recap. Political slaughter recap. See you tomorrow, everyone. God bless. Thank you.